So we're going to do an experiment today to demonstrate how food, like this piece of bread, gets absorbed into your blood. So we need to try and simulate digestion. Now, we're not going to worry about the crusts. We'll just take some of the bread out of the middle. And we're going to put this in just a snap lock bag. So here's my snap lock bag. I'm going to put the bread in. Now we're going to add some water. Now not too much water, maybe, I don't know, maybe about 15-20 mils to start off with. What I want you to do is just add the water slowly, because you can always add more, but you can't add less. So just a little bit. We want to try and really saturate this bread. So that was 15 mils. We actually might need a little bit more. So we might be going for about 30 mils in total. But it really depends on how much bread you've got. Alright, now what we want to do is try and get most of the air out of this now. So here's a trick that I learnt. So to get the rest of the air out of this, put it on the edge of the bench and we can just push the air out and then seal it. So we're trying to simulate what happens in the mouth with mechanical digestion. So you're just going to massage it around and around like this to try and break it down as much as you can. So what we're going to do now is take a little bit of this out and put it into some test tubes, because we're going to do 2 tests. The first test we're going to do is testing for starch. The second test is testing for glucose. Okay, so the starch test is using iodine, Lugol's iodine. Now the positive test for starch is a blue-black colour. And as you can see, that's already turned blue-black. So that's our positive test for starch. What does that mean? It means that our bread has got large molecules of starch in it. And we're not surprised by that. The next test we're going to do is called Benedict's test. And it's a test for sugar. So we're going to take a squirt of the Benedict solution. As you can see, it's blue. And we're going to put this into our hot water on the hot plate. Now we need to leave it on here for around about 5 minutes. A positive test for sugar is a red brick precipitate. So I'm going to show you what that looks like very soon. While that's going along, we're going to do the next part of digestion, and that is chemical digestion. That occurs with enzymes. Because we're trying to break down starch into glucose, we're going to use the enzyme called amylase. And we're going to use 20 mils of amylase. So this is the amylase here, it's a liquid. I'm going to pour it into our measuring cylinder. Measure that out accurately. So enzymes are chemical scissors. So they're going to snip the bonds between the glucose molecules in the starch to break it up into glucose. So we're going to put the amylase inside our bag. Now, it's going to take some time for the amylase to work to break down that starch into glucose. Amylase is going to work best at around about 37 degrees. So we need to heat this up. We can heat it up in a couple of ways. You can heat it up in your hands as you continue to massage it, or you can put it in a hot water bath to try and heat it up to about that 37 degrees. Now, so amylase is in the salivary glands. So we start to get that chemical digestion happening in the mouth. And then down in the stomach, the food spends about 4 hours in a big muscular bag, continually being churned away as the enzyme amylase continues to work as well. So this will take around about 5 minutes or so. The longer you can spend, the better. Then once we've done that, we're going to repeat the test, both for starch and the Benedict's test for sugar. So this has been several minutes now, and it's maybe getting a little bit of a tinge of orange to it, but really not very much. So what does that tell us? It's telling us that there's really not much sugar in the bread at the moment. So we've just mushed it up with mechanical digestion, but we haven't really snipped the starch into smaller molecules of glucose yet. That's what the enzyme's going to do. So after the amylase has been in our bag for 5 or so minutes, while you've been continually massaging it, we're going to go ahead and test for starch and for glucose again. So we'll put Benedict's test in first. Okay, again that's going to go in the hot water. Now we'll also do the starch test. Now remember, a positive for the starch test is that blue-black colour. Are we expecting to still have starch in there? I would think so. And that's confirmed. So what does that mean? It means that not all of the starch has been broken down into glucose yet. That's probably what we'd expect. Now, so we're going to allow the Benedict's test to occur whilst we set up the third part of the experiment, simulating the small intestine. We're going to use this tubing here. This, you probably can't even see this, is called dialysis tubing. Now, believe it or not, it's got ever so small holes in it. Now, the way we open this is by running it under water. Let it run under water for around about 30 seconds, and then to open it up, all we do is we run it back and forth like this between our finger and our thumb. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to seal one end with one of these clips. So we'll just give it a twist. We really want to make sure it's a good seal and nothing can sneak out. Give it a twist, fold it over, and then snap it closed. And then on the other side, we're going to use a transfer pipette and then fill this up. So try and fill it up. Alternatively, you could use a funnel and pour it in. So what's going to happen is the amylase is going to continue to break that starch down into glucose. And that glucose is going to be small enough to be able to go through the small holes in this tubing. Now, so what we're going to do is just leave a little bit of an air space, a little bit of a gap there, and then give it a twist and a fold, and we're going to seal it again at the top. Okay, so the amylase is going to work away, and that's sealed up there. What's a good idea is to just give this a rinse, because we don't want any of our bread solution on the outside of our tube. Give it a rinse, and then we're going to put it in a jar or a beaker for around about 24 hours. Okay, and then we're going to come back tomorrow and we're going to test the water on the outside of the tube, testing it for starch and testing it for glucose. So we'll do the starch test and the glucose, the Benedict's test. What do you expect is going to happen? Remember, these holes are incredibly small. Too small for starch to be able to go out of the tube and into the water that surrounds. Make a prediction about what you think we're going to see. Last thing I want to show you is that we've done, this is the results of the Benedict's test after we put the amylase into our bag. So this is what it looked like before we put the amylase in, and this is what it looked like after. Can you see that the one I'm holding here after, how it's got a much stronger red brick colour? A little bit closer if I can. Okay, see this one here is a much stronger precipitate than this one here. Let's see what happens tomorrow after we test the water on the outside of the tube and do the Benedict's test again. Okay, so 24 hours later, we've had our tube, dialysis tubing with our bread mixture in the water for 24 hours. Now we're going to test the water that was surrounding our tube. Now, we need to use an absolutely brand new transfer pipette. If we use one that's been used before, we could get a false positive. That means, saying something's there when it's not there because it's contaminated. Okay, so starch test and Benedict's test. So we'll use the transfer pipette to put some liquid in our tubes, in our test tubes. And we'll do starch test first of all. Okay, so that's for the iodine. Now, I'll just go one more. You'll recall that the positive test for starch is the blue-black colour, really quite a dark black, whereas now this is just the colour of the iodine. So that means this is a negative test. What does it mean? It means that no starch has been able to go through the small holes in our dialysis tubing to be able to get out into that water. Next thing we need to do is do Benedict's test to see if glucose was able to get out of the dialysis tubing and into the water. So we'll put some of our Benedict solution into the test tube, and we're going to put that in our hot water for around about 5 minutes. Okay, and so as you can see, this is starting to change. This is starting to demonstrate a positive Benedict's test. In other words, we're getting that red brick precipitate. Now, reminder, this is the water on the outside of the tubing. It was pure, plain, fresh water without sugar in it, without glucose in it. Now, 24 hours later, the glucose molecules from the bread are small enough to be able to diffuse across this membrane, this semi-permeable membrane, and go into this water. So that's what we're seeing here. And it's a relatively strong red brick precipitate. I thought one more thing we might do is very carefully open up our bag, and we'll get out some of the glucose, or get out some of the solution, and do one more test for starch and for the glucose for the Benedict's test. I probably should have opened this up first. Again, brand new transfer pipette, 2 brand new test tubes. Okay, so do you think there might still be starch in there? I mean, look how cloudy it is. Okay, right. Let's do our starch test. Remember, a positive for starch is the blue-black colour. And there you go, immediate. Okay, so that's a positive test for the starch. So it confirms that there's still starch in that. In other words, not all of the starch has been broken up into glucoses yet. And our very last test is we'll repeat our Benedict's test on our liquid that's inside our tube. Okay, now I'm going to take this one out and we'll leave that go. Look, with the Benedict's test, it's sort of semi-quantitative. It's we can look at how long it takes for the red brick precipitate to appear. The more glucose there is available, the quicker it appears, and also how strong the orangey red colour is. The more glucose, the stronger the orange and red colour is. So it's kind of semi-quantitative. If we compare that to the colours that we had yesterday, you can see that that's actually a stronger precipitate than we had yesterday. And we'll just keep an eye on this one here. This is taking the water straight from the tube. Alright, so this is the Benedict's test for the water that was inside the tube. So it's definitely a positive test. Interestingly, this is the water outside the tube. Now it's been sitting for a little bit longer, so maybe that's why it's more of a red colour. But it's certainly a stronger red brick than that, which is a little bit interesting. Now, our starch test, outside the tube, inside the tube. So confirming still got starch inside the tube, but no starch got outside the tube. Still got glucose inside the tube, and glucose went outside the tube as well, through the small holes in the dialysis tubing by a process called diffusion.